What's up, Nerf Herders? Hope you are all doing well out there today. So, I'm going to do another Blu Ray update video here. And I'm going to start off with a couple that I did full unboxings for, so you can check these out on the channel. But the first one here, Steelbook for Creed 2. Absolutely love this movie. Did a full unboxing as you can check out, but a gorgeous Steelbook. I love that you got Michael B. Jordan Stallone on the back there. Really nice Steelbook for sure. Next here, we've got Spider-Man Into the SpiderVerse, which is another gorgeous steelbook here. I loved this, man. I did not see this in the theater. I was so disappointed that I missed out on this, and this movie did not disappoint at all. Fabulous animation. The animation in here was just mesmerizing. It felt like you were watching a comic book, and that's definitely what they were going for. It was really just like taking a comic book and throwing it into a movie. That's really what this felt like. The animation was gorgeous. I thought the story was gorgeous. Everything in this movie just was perfect to me. I really enjoyed this a lot. Cannot wait to revisit this one again. And just a great message in here too. I think we need more positive messages with things, and this really had a great message to it. And I just absolutely loved it, man. And Spider-Man's, my favorite superhero. Peter Parker, of course, but seeing the story of Miles Morales, super cool. And the whole Spider-Verse, getting Spider-Gwen in there, just absolutely loved everything in there. Next year we got Aquaman, Target exclusive. Did an unboxing for this again, but love the lenticular cover on this here. Pretty thick digibook. So had a lot of fun with Aquaman. Definitely looking forward to revisiting that one again. Jason Momoa is just super charming in the role, and I don't think anybody else could have pulled that off and made Aquaman as cool as he does. So props to Jason Momoa for just basically being himself in that movie, because he's a super cool dude if you haven't kept up with him just through social media and stuff. Just seems like a really nice, awesome guy. Next here we got Wonder Woman, which is the lenticular cover here as well with the thick digibook. These are both Target exclusive, this and Aquaman, and they do this for all the DC releases, so they do a really good job with these releases here, which are awesome. Wonder Woman I really enjoyed a lot as well. Wonder Woman and Aquaman are the two DC films that are kind of set in this universe straight, even though they're not really doing the DCEU anymore. They're just kind of going to make their movies, which is totally fine. I know Shazam's dropping tomorrow, so I'm pumped to see Shazam now. But I like this movie a lot. The only part in this movie that kind of deterred away from me was at the very end. I just felt like the third act with the whole climax with the final boss battle kind of thing just turned into like that whole CGI fuckfest, which, DC is definitely, doing in every single one of their movies. And this one here, I just felt it kind of took away from how good that story was and everything building up to it. I felt like we could have done with a little bit less at that ending scene. But other than that, I thought the movie was phenomenal. Next here we have got the Steelbook for War for the Planet of the Apes, and this is a really nice steelbook. I ended up picking this up here because it finally dropped down. I got this for $12, which I thought was a great deal. And I didn't grab this when it first came out because I wasn't in love with this movie, so I've been waiting for a good deal to come out on this. It's not that the movie was bad, it's just I thought the first two, I thought Rise and Dawn were just far superior to this, and when they got to War, when your title is war, I was expecting war, and there's not really a war going on in this movie. It's still like a great story, and sets everything up moving forward, progressing with these characters, and you're already kind of in love with Caesar and everything that's going on with the movement of the apes and stuff. But this movie didn't really deliver. I think what I was looking for, and I was hoping for a little bit more war going on in the movie with the humans and the apes, which they kind of opened the movie up with that, and then you didn't really see that again. Which is fine though. Everything else in the movie was still good. Woody Harrelson's fantastic in this. Just a little bit lackluster to me compared to the first two. So grabbed it when I got a good deal on it, and I'm happy that I waited because I think that steelbook was like $25 or $30 when it first came out. Next here we have got Tusk, and this is signed by Kevin Smith there. So this year I picked up when we were out for Monster Mania in New Jersey. So we always take the trip out to the coast there to check out, the quick stop where Clerks was filmed. We'd gone out there, and then we go check out Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. So Kevin Smith is in there all the time. We didn't get to meet him in there, but he signs stuff. He's got a bunch of stuff signed in there to grab. Tusk I've been wanting to get, but the slip, is in great condition. Signature, I think it was like $30 or something. So they have his signature on there with the slip intact. Thought it was a great deal, and Tusk was a good movie. I did really enjoy this. There's a couple of spots in here that slow it down a little bit. But the overall premise of this is awesome. And Michael Parks, this guy right here, he also was in Red State. And, From Dusk Till Dawn is where I first saw Michael Parks. And he played, I don't know if he was a sheriff or just kind of like a ranger in there. But towards the beginning of the movie there, he's the one that goes in at the gas station and he gets killed right away in From Dusk Till Dawn. But just the dialogue that he has in the beginning of From Dusk Till Dawn, I was like, this guy just is selling it. And then I didn't hear about him for forever because at that point I wasn't keeping up with actors and everything. And then long time goes by, Quentin Tarantino talks a lot about him, and then Kevin Smith starts talking a lot about him. Next thing he pops up in Red State, which is my favorite Kevin Smith film. I think Red State is phenomenal, but nevertheless, Michael Parks, has a lead role in this as well, and he just absolutely kills it. If anything, check this movie out if you haven't seen it, just for Michael Parks. He is phenomenal. But yeah, Tusk, good one there. Next here, we've got Wellgo USA's single copy release here for Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead. I actually won this at Don Coscarelli's book signing. So he had his book that's just recently came out, and he was in Chicago for that. Still getting over the stupid sickness, but he's in Chicago for that. So I went to go meet him again, get his book, get the signature on the book, and then they did a screening of Bubba Hotep. So cool to see that on the big screen. But they were giving out a couple copies of this here. I was one of the lucky two that they had, one of the lucky two in the theater that won a copy of this here. So that was cool because I did not purchase that yet because I own that on DVD and then both the box sets from Arrow and Wellgo. So I was like, yeah, I'll wait. Ended up getting that, and then I just went out and bought this so I could complete it. So now this Phantasm 4 Oblivion, of course, but now I own Phantasm 1 through 4 and a bootleg of 2 before they released 2 on DVD. All those on DVD, and then all of the individual copies on Blu Ray, and then the 2 box sets, one from Wellgo, one from Arrow, and then Wellgo has a new one coming out a little bit later this year, and I will probably get my hands on that one as well. So I got Phantasm multiple copies now, which is crazy because when we were living in the days when Phantasm 2 couldn't even get a DVD release, and now we've got Blu Ray and amazing box sets for Phantasm, so it's so cool, man. I never thought that we would have awesome releases for Phantasm ever, but here we are. Next here we got the Little Mermaid, and this is the signature collection. I didn't go with the steelbook for this one because the steelbooks are starting to get really pricey. It's enough to pay $25 or whatever just to get a Blu-ray for a movie that's 30 years old now, but the steelbooks now are $35, and it's because everything's packaged with 4K and Blu-ray, and I can't justify spending that kind of money. So if I can catch them on a deal later down the road, some of the ones I haven't picked up yet, and there's still steelbooks laying around, I will, but Disney does not lower their prices. Everything stays super, super high, and did not have this one on Blu-ray yet, so ended up picking this one up. It sucks you got to pay top dollar for these things, and I know there's a lot of people that collect every single edition that comes out. I'm just happy to have a Blu-ray copy of that, so that way I can show the kiddos, and we'll have something tangible for the future there as well. Next here we have got The Changeling, and this is an awesome ghost story. This is from Severn, and they do a really good job with their releases. I only have a couple of their releases, but they do a great job, and I really like the black slip on this, or I'm sorry, the black jewel case. Really cool touch to that there. This is an awesome movie, though. I didn't see this movie for the first time until probably about 4 years ago or so. Just one of those ones that just took me a while to get around to, and it is an awesome, awesome ghost story. Definitely holds up. Great release though, cool slip. This is all embossed right here on the titling. You can see kind of that reflective cover on that there. It's really nice. But I would highly recommend checking this movie out if you have not. It's an old school ghost story. Legit has some creepy as hell moments, and there is one particular sequence in this movie that is just perfect. So definitely recommend checking this movie out. Next up, we've got God Bless America, and I had seen this on Netflix, and so I was waiting for a good deal to get it on Blu. Finally did, and can't wait to revisit this one again. This movie is just basically, if there's all the stuff in this world that you hate and pisses you off, this is the movie that will just allow you to get your therapeutic release, because it's just a rampage film of just people going out and just saying, fuck you, I don't like what your annoying bullshit is, and just taking people out. And it's just super therapeutic and entertaining. So I'd recommend this one too if you like a crazy B movie with a lot of violence. Next up, we got Office Space, and this is of course a classic for Mike Judge. Awesome, great comedy film. I gotta say though, Extract is my favorite for Mike Judge. I really love that movie with Jason Bateman and Mila Kunis. I love Extract. This is phenomenal. Love Office Space, but Extract to me is my favorite for Mike Judge. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way about that, but I absolutely love Extract. But I'm super stoked to have Office Space. Next year we have got Signs. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, so finally got a good deal on a Blu to revisit this one. Just watched this one again the other day, and this still holds up pretty well, I would say. You could definitely tell that it's a little bit dated now. I think if you showed this to like a new generation of kids today, it might not have that same effect that it did when it first came out. But it still stuck really well with me. The filming of this, cinematography, and just the way that they kind of, kept everything in secret as they were going about stuff and not really showing you the creature and the alien. It was awesome. I really like how he shot this film, and revisiting this one, it still held up great for me, and just a really, really awesome movie. And I like it a lot too because it's not so much about what's going on with the aliens and everything. It's really just about a preacher and a man who's lost his faith and lost his way, and him coming back to that wrapped, around with an alien story. So those kinds of movies really allow you to get into the characters a lot more when they're character driven. It makes the horror that much more real. So I mean, for a movie like this, it has legit horror in there because the characters are so relatable. Next up here, we got Blockers. This was okay. The main reason I wanted to check this out is because I really like John Cena. I've always been a John Cena fan in wrestling and everything, so I just wanted to kind of see him in a comedy role. And he's fun in this for sure. Some of the comedies doesn't really hit in this movie. They try to go for this very raunchy approach. Some of it is just raunchy for the sake of being raunchy, and there's really not a comedic effect to it. But there are some legit good moments in here. This is one of those kind of just fun movies that if you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning and it pops up on Comedy Central, you could sit down and watch this. It's one of those kinds of movies, but it was okay. It was okay for what it was. Last but not least here, we've got the new Halloween. And I was waiting for a good deal on this one too. I didn't care for the Steelbook, and I did not want to pay more than $15 for this. So it finally dropped down, got a good deal on it for $15. And I was not in love with this the first time I saw it, and the more that I kept thinking about it, the more it was pissing me off. So I wanted to, of course, have it for the collection, but I want to revisit this again. And I've watched a little bit more of it, haven't watched the whole thing again yet, so I still have to do that. But there are things in this movie that are so good and so perfectly set up. The intro to this movie is fucking phenomenal. But there's so much stuff in here too that just pisses me off and grinds my gears, because when they were promoting this and doing their whole shebang with how they were going to treat this movie, this was basically to say, forget all the sequels. This is a direct sequel to the original Halloween, 40 years after the events, of that Halloween night. And they were basically saying we want to get away from all the bullshit that the sequels brought, and we're just going to deliver a true sequel to the original Halloween. And they ended up falling into the same tropes that they were saying that they were going to get away from in this. And to me, H2O is still the definitive ending. That Laurie Strode got the job done and was not fucking around. This Laurie Strode, as much as they played her up to be this ultimate badass, I don't feel like we got that full badassery out of her. It was a lot of show and not a lot of tell going on in this. So I think I might do another video at some point just to kind of break down some of these things in here. It sucks because there's so much greatness and so much bullshit in here. There's not really anything mediocre. A lot of really good stuff and a lot of really stupid bullshit stuff. But I think I'll probably do another video at some point here once I can kind of just chart down and come up with a couple different things to get this rocking and rolling. But that's going to do it for the update, guys. Huge stack of movies. I got a huge stack of Scream Factory movies that I need to do an update for. So I'm just going to do like an all Scream update at some point here within the next couple of weeks. But that is everything for today. Thank you guys very much for watching and sticking around. This looks like this video, it's about 14 minutes long right now. So if you made it to the end, appreciate it very much. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you all next time.